I'm with my main man, Christopher Judge. We did that twice, by the way.
Right.
So welcome back to Perth, and you are looking sharp, my man.
Well, thank you very much. I prefer the previous opening that we did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We'll blame Ian for that one. It
Yeah.
was so good, but didn't press record. But hey, we're having fun in Perth anyway. So
Absolutely.
you enjoy meeting the Perth fans? Are they different or are they the
Absolutely.
same as everywhere else in the world?
Well, you know, Australia is, first of all, is one of my favorite places in the world to come. Just the people are just wonderful and laid back and cool, and just the whole vibe, man. I love it.
I love the cosplayers, but has anyone ever come dressed as Teal'c and thinking, geez, man, that just looked like me in the show?
Oh, you know, I was in Chicago, and there was a guy who came in the full Jaffa regalia, and he took his helmet off, and it was like looking into a mirror. The dude looked exactly like me. But yeah, it's always great when people, just to see them dressed up as whoever, when the fandom puts that kind of effort into it, it's great to see.
Does that ever freak you out when you're looking into like a mirror like that, or was it just you feel honoured, more honoured?
You know, yeah, it does freak you out, but you also, but you also feel honored that you know, work you did or whatever impressed someone enough that they would take the time to do that. You know, it really is flattering.
It amazes me how much effort they put into everything they do.
Yes, sir.
But I want to go back to the beginning. I mean, again, it's the show Stargate, SG1, and then all the other Stargates as well. It was so successful, but did you have any idea? Because it did better than the movie. So did you have any idea, or did you think you wanted something big here, or did it surprise you how big it got?
Well, you know, I enjoyed the movie, and I when I heard it was going to be a show, I thought, what a great premise, what a great vehicle to tell stories through. And I prefer to do sci-fi fantasy anyway. That's what not only entertains me, but it's also the kind of work that I enjoy doing. So I knew we had a shot. First of all, the premise of it, and then when you have MacGyver as the lead, you know. But I think out of the gate, them giving us 44 episodes up front, so that we could take the time to develop characters, to develop story arcs, to give viewers a chance to really get to know the team. We knew we had a shot to be successful, you know. But a lot of it was that Showtime was so supportive of us in the beginning, you know. And then when we premiered, we had the highest rated cable program ever. Like, we had higher ratings than the Tyson Holyfield fight.
Wow.
So we knew right away we were onto something. Yeah.
So that was magnificent. So tell me something. I've heard a couple of good, interesting stories about yourself. You used to have a bit of fun on set. You used to play practical jokes, and there was a story about bananas, or you eating all the food. Tell us more about all that.
Well, you know, our set was, and this once again is kind of credit to Rick and his partner Michael Greenberg. We were all called together and to talk about what the set was going to be like, and the kind of the tone of not the tone of the show, but the tone of the environment at work. And it was kind of job one that every day be fun, you know. And that's really how our day-to-day was. If someone was telling a joke, we wouldn't roll till they were done with the joke. You know, it just had to be funny, you know. And that's kind of what every day was. It was hijinks, tomfoolery, and I've always thought we're in the entertainment business, so it also should be entertaining to make entertainment. You know, it should be fun. It shouldn't be this thing where you wake up in the morning and dread going to work, you know. And that's very much something that's stuck with me in other projects that I've been involved with. It's always been, you want it to be where people wake up and are excited to go to work, and that's very much what our set was.
That builds on success, and again, you've got to enjoy what you
Right,
do, so that's fantastic. Now, I don't usually like asking questions about, what were your co-stars like, but I have heard a couple of stories, and it was a recent one about Richard Dean Anderson. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, is it you or didn't remember him, or the other way around? Tell us a bit about that. I heard it was a funny story.
Well, I had done a MacGyver, and Rick is famous for not remembering people. And so when we first started, our makeup head, also did MacGyver. So had been talking about it in the makeup chair, and I could see by Rick's face, he had no clue that I had ever done a MacGyver. And so she found an old tape of it, and we're sitting, and she pops it in, and it's playing, and he's watching, and he's watching it like, yeah, I remember that episode. But I'm on screen with him, and he doesn't realize that it's me. And I was like, Rick, that's me. He's like, no, it's not. I was like, Rick, that's me. And so finally, he's like, yeah, you're right, I didn't remember.
That's gold. That's gold. Well, again, seeing that you had so much fun on set and it was so relaxed, I mean, did you have much input of how Teal'c progressed throughout the series?
A ton of input. Because when they created the character, I'm not sure they knew quite where it was going or how, like, for instance, when we screen tested, there were 3 Carters, 3 Daniel Jacksons, 3 General Hammonds, but there were 10 Teal'cs. So there was white Teal'cs, Asian Teal'cs, Mexican Teal'cs, a couple black Teal'cs. So they really didn't know where they were going to go with the character. So immediately, when I got the role, we started filming, we had very long discussions about what his arc would be, who this guy was, and I was really adamant that Teal'c didn't talk a lot. I always found it weird when you would watch someone from a foreign place in any type of show that has a lot of input on a culture that he doesn't know a lot about. So my idea of it was the less he talks, the more important it is when he talks.
Less is more.
Right, right. And, they agreed, and, sometimes they took it a bit far, but, yeah. But yeah, I really thought that was important in his development, to take time to get to know who this guy is and what his motivations are, and they were great about making that arc of discovery very realistic.
I also heard that you used to, and you used to be a fit gentleman. You still are a fit gentleman, but heard that you used to like to work out on the set. Did you just do that yourself, or did you put all the cast through their paces as well? Were you like take us through Christopher Judge's workout?
Well, I would.
Out the running. Christopher Judge's workout.
I always worked out before work. I would do my main workout before work. So it was up at 4 a.m. every morning and do an hour or so of cardio, half hour of weights, and but it's infectious, Shank started working out a lot, Amanda started working out. Rick was never a big workout guy, but he was a great athlete, yeah. Terrific, like world-class skier. So he had always been athletic, and so he did more like biking. He would always, when we were taking vans to set, he would ride his bike. So we all stayed in pretty good shape.
Brilliant. Now, you've done a lot of work outside of Stargate, but a couple of what I like to call, based on true stories, Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark, Sharknado, what do I go on and more, LA Apocalypse,
right.
Those sort of movies, are they just fun? I know they're far-fetched, especially the Sharknado films, but I mean, it's just escapism and like, oh, that's so bad. But I mean, tell us about how fun it was to work on those sort of projects.
Well, the company that does Asylum, their whole company is that you go into their production offices, the executives are rollerblading through the offices, and so they're just a fun group to work with, and they. You're compensated very well, but they also just leave you alone. Yeah. They let you have fun. Their sets are fun. They do a lot with the same group of people as far as the crew, so you get to know them. And
it's like what you're doing,
yeah,
just do it.
Yeah, but also they understand like how I like to work. It's not everybody's cup of tea to work with me. It throws people, because I like to mess with you when you're doing takes. I like to, but Asylum encourages it, because it just adds a different element of fun to something that's outrageous anyway, So I really enjoy working with them.
Fantastic. Well, finally, because again, there's still some fans waiting to see you, so we're very lucky, by the way. But video games, obviously, you voiced God of War.
Right.
Now, do you just voice them, or do you play them as well? And how good are you at
You know,
playing them?
I play kind of more of the sports stuff. Like I play Madden, FIFA,
I was waiting for NBA.
Yeah, NBA. But my kids played God of War, so of course I was familiar with the franchise, but I had never played it. So my youngest son had, I think it was, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but I was like, holy, this is cool, this is great. And then when
they're not like the way that we played them, like the Donkey Kongs. They're so realistic these days, aren't they?
I'm so old, I started with Pong. Pong was groundbreaking for me when I was a young man.
That's scary, I'm just saying. But, no, it's like, geez, well,
yeah, but to see where video games are now, and also what we're doing with the reboot. Now there needs to be the next level of acting in it. Now the graphics and everything are so great, the playability is great, but now it's not. The characters are no longer two-dimensional. You know, they want to flesh these characters out now, and not just, he's just some guy with the blades of chaos going around killing people. So you really get to know who he is. You get to see what having a son does to a man, but it's the real journey of the father-son experience, and I think judging by the reaction from the trailers, I think people are really getting it and are excited about it, and we're definitely excited for people to play the game.
Well, gaming. I mean, again, I had to go with this PlayStation VR the other day. I'm sure you got that on.
Yeah,
You're looking around, you're looking backwards. I mean, it's probably the next step for you and to be part of those sort of genres.
Yeah,
as well.
they actually brought months ago brought a test headset.
Yeah.
And the one they let me do was I believe it was the Chicago Philharmonic, but you could walk over to the violinist, and it would look and feel like you were sitting there while he's playing. But then if you turned your head, you could see and hear, and then walk over to different members of the band. And, it was crazy.
And when you
it was
take it off,
crazy.
it's like
right.
Yeah, I know. So no, that's fantastic. Well, Christopher, again, there's people waiting to see you. So again, congratulations on your career. You are welcome in Perth anytime. So come back and visit us again soon.
Absolutely
and look forward to catching up with you
Hey,
out there.
thank you so much. I appreciate your time, brother.
No worries, brother.